Yo, this is Phil Forwave. Been a little dormant on the channel for a while. I got a little more involved in some other musical projects again and took on some creative outlets outside of music and sound. And it was eating a lot of time, basically. Hence now I'm trying a little bit of a new format, less this kind of script-driven, heavily edited stuff, something more spontaneous. So now you're catching me on my walk to the gym. And I'm just trying to find a balance now, stuff that is fun to produce and watch, and still carries a lot of effort, but not that kind of, because the videos I did previously, they were fun to do, but they took so much time to prepare, to script out, to edit. The recording was the worst part, actually. Here we go. You're catching me on my walk to the gym at the moment, and I was listening to the Vincent Dallas record. And I wanted to lose a couple of words about it. Vincent Dallas, I'm sure whoever is watching this and knows a little about harsh noise in Europe at the moment, or generally like everywhere. Vincent Dallas is a powerhouse harsh noise artist, very prolific, from Belgium. His infamous live shows are so intoxicating and menacing and fun, actually. So the record I was listening to, I had a certain expectation, when I pushed start, and I had a couple of goes at it until now. Basically, the album has 2 tracks on it, one being about 10 minutes and one being 50 minutes. Is a little different than how I think I know the sound of Vincent Dallas, and in that it is very harsh, it's very forceful, very lively, but the sheer punk rock kind of attitude that he usually has during his live sets is a little on the backseat. Instead, what we get on the album, it's very dense. On the first track of the album is very dense, very layered, detailed. You get a lot of pummeling, wall noise, heavy on the fuzz side, with a lot of shifting and changing textures underneath it. These textures come to the forefront a little bit in the middle of the first piece, where the dynamics shift a little bit. You get a little more of the dynamics and the details that were going on under the heavy bass rumbling, the fuzz in the previous 4 minutes, and at some point it just comes back right in, and the whole piece has more of a monolithic feel to it. I was actually expecting certain or more radical shifts in the dynamics, and that piece didn't bring that, in my opinion, at all. But what I got was, it reminded me a little bit of Japanese harsh noise, in that you have very deliberate layering going on. This feeling of heightened catharsis throughout the whole piece, similar to Incapacitance. And it's that kind of piece that keeps you at the edge of the seat, like over the whole duration. And it has like a darker tinge to it. Like it feels a little more brutal actually than that more lively version of Vincent Dallas that I know from his live performances. But it's still not a drab or negative kind of feeling the piece has. It's a fucking great piece. Second track. As mentioned, it's 15 minutes long. A very long piece, which is basically what I thought comprised of 4 segments, I think. Very heavily differentiated from each other. Basically starts out with a very drone heavy like sub layer and high pitched feedback noise above it, and it kind of jams on that for of the first third of the piece, or the first like 15 minutes, let's say that. It gives a very like dark, a very grimy image to me at least. Like Blade Runner, Judgment Night, a little like Escape from New York kind of images get in my head, that kind of 90s griminess. It was fun. Completely different than what I mentioned before, but very methodical. After 15 minutes we got into more of a heavy realm in which it really, the crunch kicked in, the noise blasts kicked in, the fuzz came back basically. It was jamming on that for a while before it went back into the more droney direction. This time it had more of a electronic feel. The droney bass feedbacks got modulated a little more, and it was fun. The issue I had is, it felt it didn't really feel progressive how that piece was comprised. It felt more like a jam, and it didn't bring too much to the table, and that it was so what felt like the personal exploration of the means Vincent Dallas used in that jam. There wasn't happening too much narration wise, for me at least, but still the noise sounded great. There was nothing that was putting me off there. It just the arc wasn't too apparent for me, but nonetheless, in the last 6 minutes, Vincent Dallas decides to just rip off the steering wheel basically and just have one last typical Vincent Dallas noise jam in the end, heavily like very dynamic, heavy as fuck, fun, fast-paced, and celebratory noise basically. I could see it, like I had the images of in front of my eyes, seeing perform that kind of segment, and I was very pleased to have that moment at the end of this very long track. Overall, I would say it's a great CD. It's kind of, it's something I would put on again, like doing some artwork or some printing at home, or being creatively involved into something and just want some noise that creates a mood, but where I don't have to be too involved with listening to it. That's when I would put it back on. Definitely, it's not something I think that I would listen to, when going out and just need to be invigorated in any way, because the impulses are a little too few, and the effects are a little too drawn out over the whole piece, which is not a bad thing. You don't always have to please everyone. And that's the good thing, about noise. There's different use cases, let's call it that, for these various kind of noise there exists. And I am still I appreciated that Vincent Dallas basically created something different than what I at least know him for, which is that kind of high octane noise performance, harsh noise. And yeah, thumbs up from me. Be kind. It's taxing times. Be good to the people in your community and support small noise labels. Don't always, get your ass up when some big noise label releases some expensive as fuck limited noise run. No, just especially find the little labels in your area and support these and tell people about it and just, keep it alive. Sometimes, it's the only thing that seems like we have, and just cherish it. All right then, have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.